Hello to everybody. Thank you all for joining me at this time. My name is Shavi Zane, and I'm coming on to bring a message for you all. And this particular message is called Push, the Head is Crowning. Okay. So, for those of you who actually have children or you've been around during deliveries, then you know that that part of the delivery is extremely important, and it's exciting, and it verifies that you're almost to the finish line of your delivery. Okay, this is what I'm feeling is happening for the collective, for the 144,000, for the chosen. We are in delivery. We are in labor right now. And because we are in labor, this is why the enemy is creating all of these distractions around us, creating all of this chaotic energy around us. And it's not just the enemy creating it, it's actually the chaotic energy that is necessary in order for us to deliver, okay, Christ consciousness into the world. Now, in terms of the delivery itself, okay, on a personal scale, you might find that you have a lot of chaotic energy that might be happening internally, or things that are happening externally to you that's triggering things internally. It could be working hand in hand, but you might find that you're in mental conflict. Like you just got a lot of things that's going on. You're trying to be patient with the processes, but you got a lot of just a lot of thoughts, a lot of chaotic energy, a lot of aggressive energy that you don't really know how to direct. Or I'm not going to say you don't know how to direct it, but you're trying to figure out what to do with it because it might be unexpected changes that are happening right now. And maybe you let your guards down in certain areas of your life. But just know that as much as the enemy thinks that somehow it has control over the narrative of how things are playing out, the enemy has created an illusion for himself to think that his power and his influence is what controls the narrative. Okay, but just know that whatever is going on with you on an individual level, this was all a part of the chaotic energy that will be necessary for you to pull up the rest of that junk that might be, suppressed. That I'm talking about, the scooping way down in there, okay? To get the rest of that mess out so that you can be transparent in your energy, full transparency. You cannot be transparent if you are full of a lot of toxicity or unhealed wounds that you don't really know are there. You suppress them for so long that you don't really know they're there. And then certain scenarios happen, certain changes take place, certain events take place. You might let your guard down thinking, well, why would I let my guard down? Why did I let my guard down to walk right into the situation? Well, just know that it was all part of the written plan, okay, that you would go into that space right now so that that chaotic energy could be created in order for you to see something. Because what you're doing is you're being called to utilize all of the tools that you have been learning to balance yourself out, because we're going into labor as a collective body on a spiritual level. Okay. Now, in terms of the masculine and the feminine energy, as you know, anytime we actually birth a child, the woman is the one that's delivering, while the masculine is the one that is supporting. Okay, and he's there to to support her and to bring calm to her as best as he knows how. So we all embody masculine and feminine energy within us. So first, as an individual, you are being called to, you got that one part of you and that feminine energy that might be really emotional right now. You might be crying, you might be feeling some pain, some wounds and things from your past might be coming up. You're crying and you're going through all of this chaotic energy. And then on the other side, that masculine energy is there to execute and to create those boundaries to protect, because even in the animal kingdom, if the feminine uh species, the animal, is giving birth, then you got the masculine somewhere around to protect the cubs as they come through. Okay, and so it's like you're needing to utilize your masculine energy to create those boundaries that says, okay, now it's time for me to use the tools that I have gained. I know it's time for me to step into that power, that personal strength, and that authority that I've been granted in the physical and in the spiritual to create healthy boundaries for myself, so that now that this wound has been, or now that this, let's just stick to the baby narrative. Now that this baby is coming in, my feminine energy is in that chaotic energy. I'm hurting, it's painful, but the masculine energy is there to protect, while the masculine energy is there to protect while the feminine energy is there to do what's necessary to get that baby into the world, okay? And so both energies come together internally within you as an individual, but as a collective body, then we could say, okay, the masculines, the gods, the feminines, the goddesses. You got the feminines who are giving birth, okay? And you have the masculines who are standing in their authority to protect when that baby is birthed into the world. Okay, so stepping into your power and your authority as the masculines, as the gods, and stepping into that feminine energy of birthing that child, doing what's necessary to stay calm. Okay, because we've been preparing for this delivery for a minute now. And consider, when you look at things from the physical aspect of giving birth now in Western society versus what we did back before this whole, the Western way of delivering came about. We did it in a way where we made sure that things made sense. Okay. So you should have been, during this time of preparing for your delivery, we've been going back to our roots. We've been going back to the way that we remember we used to do things in this lifetime and in past lifetimes. And so in our remembrance, we know that we got to work on deep breathing. When we start to feel anxiety, we have to work on, making sure that we're in a proper position, because we ain't working against gravity. We working with gravity. So you squatting, you ain't laying on your back with your feet up like they do in Western society. And you are having positive thoughts, okay? You know that you're getting ready to deliver a Messiah. You're getting ready to deliver Christ's consciousness into existence. And so you have prepared yourself. You've been nurturing your physical vessel. You've been taking care of yourself. You know how to balance yourself back out. You know that when that pain comes, you got to redirect your thoughts. You don't want to focus in on the pain, but you want to focus in on the gift that's coming through because of the pain. And so it's like you have gathered all of these tools in preparation for the delivery. The masculines, the gods, they've gathered all these tools in preparation for taking back their authority and making sure that they're able to protect the birth of this Messiah, okay? The birth of Christ's consciousness, taking their power back, taking their authority back, standing in their divinity, knowing that they are gods and kings, okay? And being ready to protect and stand for the kingdom. Now, I'm not talking about we have to prepare for battle in the physical. I'm saying the spiritual warfare that has been happening has largely been to prevent us from being able to birth the Messiah. So as you know, when you go and deliver a baby in real life, you do have the potential to have a delivery that could go left or it can go right, okay? But it's all in the preparation. It's all in the environment, okay? And so in Western society, if we're going to stick to the physical narrative, in Western society, you have a lot of things that take place that's against nature, okay? You're getting pumped up with all of these drugs that's unnatural to you. You're being told to deliver against gravity. You got all these bright lights shining in your face. There's nothing about it that brings comfort in order for you to bring that baby into the world. But when we go back into our roots, we realize that we didn't do it that way. And so we're being called to utilize those tools, regardless of what you have going on around you. On an individual level, you might have a lot of chaotic energy, things that are happening, things that are coming up, emotions that are going on, and you just, don't descend back down into darkness. Because what I also heard was there are two energies that is creating right now on this planet. That is energies that are creating from the light and energies that are creating from the darkness. We as the chosen are creating from light. The enemy is creating from darkness. We're the only two that exist that recognize, that realize that we possess the ability to create. Everybody else in between are just walking zombies because they not creating from light, and they're not creating from darkness because they are not conscious to the fact that they are creators and that they are a large part of the way things manifest in the physical and in the spiritual. They are asleep to that. They're walking zombies. But then you have those who are on the dark side that create from darkness, those of us on the light side who create from light. And so who do you think wins? When we consider just thinking about light in and of itself, the only way that darkness exists is when light actually recedes, okay? Because as long as light decides to stay, as long as you keep them lights on, ain't no darkness about to come in and overpower the light. It just don't happen that way. Even when it comes to, when you see nature, when it comes to the sun rising, okay, the sun is going to shift and it's going to decide, okay, I'm going to rise on this side. And as I rise and become brighter, darkness ain't got no choice but to move out of the way because the sun says, look, I'm here. That's Christ consciousness being birthed, okay? And so just know that the enemy cannot win based off of nature, okay? We are the light. The enemy is in the darkness. And so because we create from light, the only way the enemy can win is if we recede into the shadows, is if we lower our vibration, is if we forget who we are and get consumed with what's happening, that chaotic energy that could potentially be happening around you right now. That's when the enemy has an upper hand in terms of keeping things dark, okay? But when you use the tools that you have been learning about and all of that wisdom that you have been gathering in preparation for this delivery of Christ consciousness as a body, as a whole, and as an individual, please know that we already got this. We have already won. It is already established because we will not recede back into the shadows. We will not recede back into the shadow version of ourselves after we spent all of this time doing all of that shadow work. Oh no, we will not. And so whatever is going on with you, I don't care what kind of mental conflict you're in. I don't care how chaotic your thoughts may be, regardless of how painful things may seem. You take the tools that you know you possess and you alchemize and transmute that energy. Feel your feelings. Do less talking. Get silent. If you got some people that's coming into your life that's trying to wreak havoc and be chaotic in their energy and cause a lot of chatter, and you don't go back and forth with them. You speak your truth. You speak your truth because that allows you to purge those things that you were suppressing. Then step into your masculine energy and shut it down. And then step into your feminine energy and nurture yourself. Nurture those wounds. Get back balance, okay? Go into that emotional withdrawal. If it's necessary, get out into nature. Go around a body of water. Do what's necessary because we are creating a foundation right now. Christ consciousness is the foundation, okay? Giving birth to the Christ consciousness is the new foundation in the spiritual realm and in the physical realm. That's the kingdom that's being established through us as long as we stay in the light and we do not allow darkness to overtake us to the point where we recede into its shadows. We will not do that, but that's what the enemy wants. And that's why you see all of these things breaking out, all of these wars and stuff. But see, again, the enemy doesn't even realize because he's created such an illusion for himself and made the world believe this illusion so much that he actually started to believe that even he could overpower the will of the Most High God. No, you cannot. It's already been prophesied. It's already been written in the stars and it's already been established. We are in labor, okay? So just breathe. It's going to hurt in between each push. You're going to feel that pain. But I told y'all the head is crowning. And so because the head is crowning, when you begin to see that head, then you know that delivery is almost complete. And just know that this is also in alignment with the fact that we are moving into the new year. The actual new year happens during springtime. It only makes sense, And so the earth is also giving birth. It is springing forth, right? It's giving birth. And so we are in alignment now with the cycles of life because we've been doing the work to get back on track, to get back balanced out, because that's the whole purpose of this, is to balance out the energy of the universe, masculine and feminine energy and all energies that exist in between. But it's all about balance and justice. That's the same thing as those balance scales. Justice happening in the physical, balance happening in the spiritual, masculine and feminine energy coming together to give birth to Christ consciousness. So the spiritual realm is in alignment with the physical realm, and everything is complete. And so because we are now operating in unison with the cycle of life, then yes, we are giving birth in the springtime. And technically, that's when many people say that the actual Messiah, Yeshua, was born, right? During the springtime. Whereas Western society says that, well, Jesus was born during the wintertime. But no, we know intuitively. You can feel the chaotic energy. You can feel that you about to go into labor. Y'all know we about to have this baby. So you better go ahead, pack your bags, get prepared, bring out them tools that you've been practicing, because we got this. The enemy is not going to win. We stay in the light, continue to shine bright and shine bright and shine even brighter. Rise above your current situation, whatever it is you got going on, whatever chaotic energy is happening, just know that it's necessary. You have to feel this in order to push out all of that suppressed energy, okay? Because this is going to help you to shine your brightest. You can't be fully transparent when you operating in light. You can't have no dark spaces and dark areas within you that you have hidden, that you have kept in the shadows because, life just made you forget about it, or you just didn't want to acknowledge it. No. So that chaotic energy right now is necessary. See it from an eagle's perspective. Rise high above your circumstances and know that we are all in this together. You're not alone. Okay? So let's go ahead and give birth to this baby, because we got some beautiful things that's happening. And so on an individual scale, in terms of you giving birth, means you're giving birth to your gifts. You getting ready to reap that harvest in terms of them seeds that you've been planting. Okay? And so when you rising above that situation like the eagle, yeah, go ahead and cry, purge, let it go, let it out, right? But as you continue to cry, make sure you rising higher. Don't go low with it. Rise high as you continue to cry, because you know what's going to happen? Them tears are going to fall, and it's going to actually be what's necessary to nourish and to nurture those seeds that you have been planting, to make sure that that harvest is able to spring forth beautifully. Okay, because it might have been a little bit of a drought lately. You might have been, suppressing certain energies because you've been focused in on just doing the work, okay? And getting your energy up and doing what's necessary to stay balanced. So you might not have had time to really get that good cry out. I'm talking about that good purge that really allows you to address those last bit of wounds that needed some nurturing. And so now you way up there like the eagle, but you shedding them tears, and it's watering your entire garden where you've been planting all of them beautiful seeds all of this time. So just know we're in this together. I love y'all. I thank you all for joining me. If you want a private reading from me, you can always email me. And if you find that this message it resonated with you, please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. I would love to see you all back here again. Press the notifications bell so that you can keep up with my messages as they come through. Let's give birth to this baby, y'all. I love you. I'll talk to you all next time.